And we are live. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Heron's Haven podcast on the SoFlo Soccer channel. Today we're going to be going over the preview of Inter Miami versus New England Revolution, and this should be fun. So let's get straight into it. Let me just make sure this is on and that's off. Okay, perfect. So yeah, welcome to another episode of the Heron's Haven podcast. It's been a while. Have been sick the last couple days, so I couldn't really post a lot of content. But we're back now. We're back with a preview. Tomorrow's Match Day 11 in the 2024 MLS regular season, and it's gonna be a pretty good one. I want to say. I think a lot of people. I've been reading a lot of what people are saying online, what the fans are saying online, and this should be a pretty it should be an easy win for Inter Miami, honestly. I'm just gonna get that out the way. It should be an easy win. This is the worst team in the league. I'm gonna be saying, like, not even just in the Eastern Conference. This is the worst team in the league. Um, they are dead last. They are the lowest scoring team in the league, and with 5 goals, and like I think they played 9 games. Um, So it's really, really bad. It's really, really bad what's happening over there in New England, which is very unfortunate for them. But I mean, it just kind of is what it is. Oh, now that I'm live, Inter Miami are hosting a press conference with supposed new signing Chelo Engand. So they completely forgot to change the title of the broadcast. So I'm assuming that's for the new signing Matias Rojas, which is a great segment, which is what we'll get into right now. I'm not going to be showing, just as a reminder, I'm not going to be showing any images or clips or videos of any sort due to the fact that every time that I do show an image or a clip, I get copyrighted. So no images. Just we're just gonna try to use our imagination for as to the best of our ability, pretty much. But yeah, let's talk about a little bit about the the new signing, very 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 good signing in my opinion of Matias Rojas from the Corinthians. At least that was his last club. We pretty much signed him on a free contract, and which is great for us financially. It's a great move for us financially. The fact that we were able to snag him a free contract at the end of his deal, I guess, with the Corinthians, and honestly, he hasn't really been, from what I've been seeing, right? Because I don't watch the Brazilian league, I don't watch the Corinthians, but from what I've been seeing, his time in Brazil hasn't been the best, but I know him from his time at Racing Club in Argentina. He's won 2 trophies with them during his time there. I believe he's been there for like 4 or 5 years. Um, and an amazing player to get. 28 years old, free transfer. He could play up top. He could play in the midfield. I think I think the versatility um, is going to be very important coming up, especially now during the summertime where we're approaching Copa America, we're approaching League Cup. There's going to be no Messi. There's probably not going to be a Redondo, and a bunch of other players are probably going to be going out on international duty. So, I mean, he probably might go out on international duty as well, to be honest, but I don't know. Regardless, very, very interesting signing. So, I was going to pull up the press release, but to avoid any copyright, I'm just going to read off just briefly what the club and Data had to say about the actual signing. So it says here, Inter Miami have signed the attacking midfielder Matias Rojas. The club announced on Tuesday he was a free agent, last playing for Brazilian top flight side Corinthians. The 28-year-old is under contract through the 2024 MLS season with the options to extend through the 2025-26 season and reuniting with Paraguayan teammate Diego Gomez, as well as uh, former teammate Tomas Aviles from Racing Club. Uh, so the chief soccer and sporting director Chris Henderson says we're pleased to bring in the attacking midfielder Matias Rojas. He's skillful and experienced both. He is a skillful, excuse me, he is a skillful and experienced player at both the club and national team levels, whose versatility we believe will be an asset for the team. We think this addition helps strengthen our squad, and we aim to compete for titles after a strong start of the MLS season. Strong start. I mean, I'm assuming he's saying strong start because we're in first place, but it's been a very up and down start. But considering the fact that we're in first place now, we probably will lose it if the Red Bulls win. But the fact that we're in first place now, or at least in the top two, top three, is really good. It's insanely good, and people are kind of overlooking it, in my opinion. But um, this is what Rojas had to say about his signing to Inter Miami. I'm happy joining a spectacular club like Inter Miami. It is a dream come true. I'm very excited to compete and help my teammates achieve the team's objectives. Um, so yeah, this move was long in the making. Way before they actually made the signing on Tuesday. It's probably been going on for a couple of months now. Uh, so the fact that they were able to get it done and it's official now. Um, Not too long ago, I forget the date, but a couple of months ago, we did get an international shot. We traded some GAM. I'm assuming it was from the transfer for Liedlin or something. We did trade in some GAM for an international slot. I believe it was from CF Montreal. And so we were just sitting on on that international slot, and 95% of us knew that that was going to be Matias Rojas that was going to fill that spot. So I'm really happy. I'm really honestly really happy with this signing. Um, I think it's going to be very crucial, especially when Messi isn't around. And I think for a 28-year-old, it's a player in his prime. He has a couple of years in him if he does want to continue playing for the club, which I really hope he does. I really hope we can keep him for at least maybe 2 to 3 seasons. Given that he actually wants to extend his contract. Um, But yeah, no, very highly rate the signing. He could play, like I said, he could play on the wings. He could play out wide, either on the left or right side, and he could play in the center mid or center attacking mid positions, which could really help us, especially nowadays with the terms, in the cases of all the injuries that we've been experiencing, obviously recently with the Facundo Farias, with the Robert Taylor, with the Campana, and things like that. And now with Diego Gomez, almost forgot to mention this. Now with Diego Gomez going to be out for about 6 weeks, is what they reported. Um, this is going to be huge. Matias Rojas is going to be filling in those shoes for the next 6 weeks. He's pretty much going to be our Diego Gomez for the next 6 weeks, which should be very interesting. There's going to be a lot of comparisons between him and Gomez. Obviously, they're both being Paraguayo, both of them playing in a pretty similar role. Um, we pretty much have another Diego Gomez, just a little older. Um, Speaking of Diego Gomez and speaking of the club, let's just shift a little quickly into just kind of the update for the teams in terms of who's healthy and who's not healthy. Earlier, literally probably like an hour ago, Michelle Kaufman from the Miami Herald tweeted, quote, Inter Miami update. Per Tata Martino, all the healthy players are available for the game at New England tomorrow. Artificial turf, not a concern. Rojas will travel as well as Campana and Taylor. Okay. This is very key because obviously Campana and Taylor have been injured. Uh, Rojas, obviously, the new recent signing, he literally signed on Tuesday. He had plenty of time to adapt. Well, not adapt, but train with the team. I guess get to know the players. I mean, he already speaks Spanish, so he gets to talk to Messi and Suarez and all of them, and Busi and Alba. And literally, like half of the team is Argentinian, so it's like he's pretty much at home. Like he culturally he's at home with a bunch of Argentinians and South American players, and so he'll fit right in. Um, what's interesting to me is that because Taylor and Campana aren't really expected to return until next month, so the fact that they're traveling tomorrow, um, gives me hopes. I mean, like I highly doubt that they'll play even off the bench, but the fact that they're their injury is coming along pretty well, I think is a really good sign. And it's what's it called? It's just really good to know that they're really progressing in their injuries, right? I just have to make sure that we're still live because last time it crashed. Perfect. Okay, we're still live. Perfect. 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 Um, but yeah, no. So it's great, and also we've heard that Ian Frey. We've seen a video from Inter Miami. At least no, was it from Inter Miami? I don't know. We've seen a clip. Obviously, I can't pull up the clip of a clip of Ian Frey being back in training, which is huge. Very, very, very huge. Um, I really thought I had the clip saved on a tab, but I guess I didn't because I'm an idiot. But Ian Frey, he didn't say that, but that's the thing. I wanted to bring that up because he didn't say that Ian Frey was traveling with the team tomorrow. So I'm like, okay. So we saw the video of Ian Frey. They recently posted a goal, or they recently posted a video or a clip of Ian Frey's goal with Inter Miami. So I'm like, okay, they're like not hinting, but they're telling us pretty much that he's going to be returning very soon. Whether that's tomorrow or not, probably not, right? Maybe he'll travel. Maybe he'll travel, but I mean, he was expected to return around this time. Probably, I honestly didn't expect him to return until maybe the summertime. But there's if he's starting to maybe get implemented into the team, into the training session, into the group training sessions, and if he travels tomorrow, and obviously he's not going to play, right? But even beyond the bench, it's a really, really good sign. That just means that we're recuperating well, we're getting our players back, and just slowly but surely, everybody's just going to be back and healthy again because Redondo should be back by that time. Obviously, Frey, as we mentioned, we have Campana and Robert Taylor, like we just said. We have Robbie Robinson that should be coming back, hopefully before Copa America, and then Kritzov, and then Facundo Farias. But Facundo Farias is not going to be available until probably the end of the season, if at all, if he plays this season. Um, so yeah, we're approaching a time or a period in the season where it's a very exciting time for the club in terms of just healthy players. Like we actually have our full team and our full squad. And what does that also mean? That means a lot of expectations, right? Because as Inter Miami fans, and even as Inter Miami fans, yeah, no, as Inter Miami fans, we would say, yeah, no, like we're not performing well because we don't have a full team. We have a lot of players injured, a lot of players out. Like, oh, we have Messi's injured. We have Kritzov is injured. We have no center backs. We have no defense. Oh, now Gomez is injured. Now we have no excuses about injuries, right? When these players are starting to come back by next month in May or mid May and early June, we're going to be around the halfway point of the season, kind of, or almost at the halfway point of the season. And well, not really. We're like yeah, I mean we'll be like what 15 games in, I think, by that point. So it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting, especially during the summertime when we have all of our players back. Like literally all of our players except for Facundo Farias will be back from injury. Messi and them will be gone. So we'll pretty much have a full team without Messi, right? So a full team without Messi is still a very, very strong team, despite what other people say that we can't perform without Messi and whatever, whatever. That's absolute nonsense. But yeah, no, I have very, very high hopes. But yeah, so far with the updates of the team, uh, it doesn't. So far, there's nothing confirmed that Ian Frey will travel. Right. So Leo Campana, Robert Taylor, obviously Rojas, and obviously Messi and Suarez and Jordi and Busi are all going to be traveling. Right. But nothing on Ian Frey yet. Honestly, it might like even though I say like that'd be great if he travels. If he doesn't, I'm not complaining. This guy is literally recovering from a crucial ligament injury. This guy has been out for me, I think, all of last season. Um, and just for him to just to make a return at Gillette Stadium on a turf field, I think will literally end his career. Um, and we can't have that for a young player like Ian Frey with a lot of potential, with great talent, very skillful player. Playing for him to make his return on a turf field at Gillette Stadium is just not the move, right? So if he travels, great. If he doesn't, great, greater. That's even better. I'd rather him stay and stay here in Fort Lauderdale and recover and keep training and keep and just be fit and be healthy and take his time because we need him. And I rather not him rush back into the you know, into the first team, like, because it's not needed right now. It's not needed right now. But anyways, moving on. We're gonna move on to a little bit of a scouting report for New England. A little bit of a scouting report, not too much, right? And I say not too much because it's like obviously I'm not a New England fan. I really wish I can get people to actually come. Not a lot of uh because it's uh because it's a small channel and I can't really pay anybody. Nobody really wants to join and take the time to actually speak. And like I would love to get a New England fan on right now and ask them about the team and just kind of have them talk us through what's going on this season. Because if you're following MLS, um, you would know that this is probably the worst I've seen New England ever, or I don't know about ever, but at least in recent times. Um, They are literally last place. I'm looking right now. They've played 8 games, 1 win, 1 draw, 6 losses. Um, it's very, very worrying for a New England side, right? Like it is not fun to be a New England fan right now. Um, they've made a lot of changes, a lot of they so the biggest sale I feel like not I feel like the biggest sale in my opinion that they lost was Gustavo Bo, right? Gustavo Bo letting go of Gustavo Bo um was very very big because these guys were literally the biggest threat, right? Literally New England Revolution was it was either last year or 2 years ago. They won the or they were first place in the Eastern Conference. They were a very very huge threat in the MLS, and it was just very worrying to face them. Um, so yeah, literally last season they ended in 5th place. I'm looking at it right now. The season before that they were in 10th. In 2021 they were in first. So it's a very worrying time to be a New England fan. Um, I literally had like a thing right here pulled up. America beat New England 5-2, 9-2 on aggregate. Yes. Literally, it's like it's just so bad. Um, which sucks, right? Literally, like they lost it. I believe it was on Tuesday. They lost in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Um, which now I don't think are there even any teams that are left in the CONCACAF Champions Cup? Like, is what's their face still in it? Is the Crew still in it? Kind of, yeah. They're in it. Yeah, they play on Wednesday, May 1st, in the second leg against Monterrey. And if they win, they'll be the only team. Well, they still are the only team in freaking in the MLS that are in that competition. But yeah, it's not fun to be a New England fan right now. The last time that they won a game was on April 6th against Charlotte, and it was a 1-0 win. Um, their goal scoring spell is horrendous. They've only scored 5 goals in the 8 games that they played, which makes them the worst attacking team in the league. Um, They've conceded 14 goals, which isn't the worst. San Jose is honestly the worst, which is insane. They've conceded 24 4 goals in 9 games. San Jose, New England at 14 in 8 games. So they're not the worst defensive team in the league, but they're definitely down there in terms of conceding goals. Um, it's honestly it's not like an insane amount, but it's still not what you want, right? Um, but yeah, so that just puts us like, or that just puts me uh in better hopes to actually getting a result from this game, right? I mean, like we should be winning, like ideally, right? We should be winning every single game. We should be winning every single game with the team that we have. Now the fact that we're out of literally every other competition, like we're not in the CONCACAF Champions Cup anymore. We don't have to worry about like Open Cup because of what they did. Um, because they took it out of the league entirely. Literally, we don't have to worry about anything except for the league. So what does that mean? That means more resting, fewer injuries, hopefully, and literally we just have to focus on one game a week. Fully fit team every single week. Bam, bam, bam. We should be winning. We should be getting pretty high up there in the Eastern Conference. But yeah, for I mean for New England, like I said, they lost Gustavo Bo. Their first, it says here, in New England's first designated player signing under former head coach and sporting director Bruce Arena now competes for Talleres in Argentina. He had 44 goals and 20 assists in 100 matches with the Revs, it, though was limited by injuries the past 2 seasons. Still made an insane impact, Gustavo Bo. But despite his injuries, he was a really good player on the field. Um, Omar Gonzalez was somebody that they also let go, like Leggett, and Josie Altidore was a typical arena era signing. The veteran center back is now at FC Dallas, replaced by free agent addition Jonathan Mensah on the depth chart, and Thomas Vaklik. Vaklik is ostensibly ostensibly signed as a New England's Petrovic replacement last summer. Never played in a match. The Czech international goalkeeper is now at Spanish side division at Albacete following a contract buyout. So those are 3 key departures according to the MLS. I thought Gustavo Bo was the main one because that's who I knew and I had the most knowledge of, and he was an absolute dog on the field. Now, key signing, supposedly, I only know of one key signing that they made this season. And I know that because he played in Racing Club. And that is Tomas Chancalay. Tomas Chancalay was a really good player for Racing. Now he's in New England. Um, Before that, he played somewhere else. Chancalay is he's now on New England on a permanent deal after his half-season loan from Racing Club. The Argentinian forward is a DP alongside Gil, which we'll get to in a second, impressing with the 6 goals, 0 assists in 11 games last year. That was in within 6 months, so that's all right. Another one is Nick Lima. Brandon Bay recovers from a torn ACL. Lima is the Revs starting right back, acquired via a trade with Austin FC. 8 goals, 20 assists in 195 matches. And then Enric Ravas was the goalkeeper, who's the starting goalkeeper, who's pretty good. He's an international player from Slovakia. Top flight from Widzew Lotz. I think that's how you say it, but their goalkeeper is a really good goalkeeper. From what I'm seeing, from what I see, and from what I read, he's a pretty good goalkeeper. Honestly, though, I really wish I could show you like images and stuff, but like just looking at their team, looking at New England's team on paper, their last game, right? If I go to their last game, um, they played and lost against Toronto. And if I look at the starting 11, they played in a 4-2-3-1 formation. Ravas obviously in goal. Spondling, Kessler, Farrell, and Lima back 4. Polster, Buck as the 2 CDMs. Gill, both Gills as um the cams with with Esmir, the American youngster, at the right wing, and then Virioni as the striker. Just to paint the picture, the Gill brothers, that's what I call them because they just have the same last name. I don't actually know if they're brothers, but the Gill brothers are literally probably the best players that they have on the team. They obviously have that prospect, that right wing prospect, the 19-year-old, um, with a very complicated last name that I'm not going to say, but I'm just going to call him Esmir. Esmir on that right wing. But honestly, other than that, and besides the goalkeeper, their team doesn't look that big of a threat. I I can see them scoring against us because we just can never keep a clean sheet. But um honestly, uh like who do we really have to worry about here? Like what? The Gill brothers? Like I mean, yeah, they have a lot of experience in La Liga and they played in Valencia and Las Palmas and whatnot, but in my opinion, like with a team like ours, I mean, this is like a kind of like a Messi in Miami situation. Like you can't expect them to just carry the team. They're not just because they perform well doesn't mean that they're going to win. We have a lot better players. I feel like we're more structured. We're having a lot better season than they are. A lot better momentum. First cousin, yeah. So um, it's yeah. I mean, like their biggest threat is their goalkeeper. So if we don't score, it's going to be because of their goalkeeper. Their goalkeeper's just going to have just a hell of a night. Um, which is fine. I mean, respect to him, right? International goalkeeper from Slovakia. I mean, go for like sure. Um, but I think with the likes of Messi, Suarez, and now Matias Rojas most likely having that starting position on the left wing, it's going to be very very difficult to not pull away with the result here. Um, literally the worst team in the league. Like literally, if I get on the podcast again tomorrow night after the game, and I'm talking about how I'm talking about, or I'm trying to defend Inter Miami on how we lost, I'm gonna stop doing this podcast. Like, there's just no way because there is no universe where I see Inter Miami dropping points to New England Revolution. Now, I've said that multiple times with other teams like Montreal and like NYCFC, and um, I even said it against Nashville last time out. I predicted a 3-1 win. I got it right. And I said that there was no way that we were losing because Nashville are horrendous and they're having a terrible season. So there's just absolutely no way that we should be losing to this team. It's pretty much the same with New England, but this is a better situation for us. Like literally, New England are the worst team in the freaking league. Anything other than a win here, if we don't win by 3 goals, it's going to be a loss. Like let's be honest here. We should be winning this game 3-1, 4-1. We're definitely going to concede a goal. I 100% I know for a fact we're conceding a goal because we can never keep a clean sheet no matter what. We're going to concede a goal, but we should be winning 3-4-1. Literally with the predicted lineup. Let's just transition to the predicted lineup here. Predicted lineup with Drake Callender in goal, Jordi Alba on the left back, Aviles and Freire center backs, Chelo right back. Center mids, we have no Gomez, right? Because obviously he's injured. We have no Gomez. So who are we going to have? We're going to have Ruiz. We're going to have Sergio Busquets. And we're going to have Gressel as the 3 center mids with Matias Rojas, Luis Suarez, and Lionel Messi up top. With that lineup, you cannot tell me that we're not going to score 4 goals that game, 5 goals that game. If we could put 3 past Nashville, we could put 5 past New England. And that's just facts. That's not even me being biased. That's not me being mean. With all due respect to the New England fans, like I respect them, and I understand that the struggle that they're going through right now because we experienced it as Inter Miami fans last season. But we should be absolutely demolishing this team. Um, now, oh wait, no, is Alba still is Alba back? Alba's back, right? Because he's injured. He's probably not back actually. No, I just kind of I messed myself up. I just sounded like a really fake fan. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's still injured because Tata Martino did not confirm that Jordi Alba was returning, but I'm pretty sure he is. I'm pretty sure he will. I I mean, if anything, Negri will play there, and guess what? Negri is just as good. Like Negri is fine. Um. Anyway, but yeah, but that's the predicted lineup. That's the little scouting report that I did for New England. For my official match prediction, I'm gonna start wrapping it up because we're approaching 45 minutes. I'm gonna say for my match prediction, Inter Miami versus the New England Revolution at Gillette Stadium, Game 11 of the 2024 MLS season. I'm going to be very ambitious, and I'm going to say we're going to win this game 5-1. We're going to win this game 5-1. And if we do any worse than that, we lost. It's like if we do any worse than that, then we just don't deserve to be top of the table. Honestly, I mean, literally worst team in the league, worst attacking team in the league. Not the worst defense, but they definitely like to concede goals, at least a goal a game. Um, so we should definitely be scoring against this team. Anyways, that's going to be it for me for today on this Heron's Haven podcast episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It was a little longer than usual. Um, because I had to talk about the new signing from Matias Rojas. We talked about just squad updates in terms of injuries and who should be expecting back. But pretty much, so yeah, it just went on a little longer than normal. Yeah, I was not playing. I caught myself. Negri's going to be playing. Um, so yeah, I mean, like it doesn't really matter, right? Like let's be real here. Like we have Negri there, who's a fantastic left back, and then we have Noah Allen as a replacement, as a backup. So literally, I have zero doubts that like freaking Negri's gonna do um a good job. So literally, he's gonna be perfect. He's gonna be fine. 3-1. You're being nice, man. I'm telling you, 5-1. I'm telling you, 5-1. And that's not even me being. That's not even me being um too like harsh. Like that's literally my honest opinion. Like we literally need to be winning 5-1 against the worst team in the league and against the worst attacking team in the league. Yeah, man, I really hope, honestly, I wouldn't even be mad if Messi only plays one half, because playing at Gillette Stadium is life threatening. Like, let's be real. I think I was going to talk a bit about that before I ended. So we'll wrap it up on the conditions of Gillette Field, and then we'll call it, because I don't want to make this too long, because then nobody's going to want to watch it. Um, I don't mind Messi playing only 45 minutes if he makes um, an impact, whether that's the first 45 minutes or the second 45 minutes. Because playing at Gillette Stadium is literally life threatening, and we cannot afford to any costly injuries, especially to a team like New England, man. Like we can't be affording Messi. We can't afford for Messi to get injured, especially this close to the Copa America. We can't afford Suarez to get injured with his history. We can't afford somebody like Busquets to get injured, because he's literally the pendulum of the team. We can't afford literally anybody else to get injured. Like we just can't afford more injuries. And they're going to be traveling. They're going to be going. Tata Martino said everybody who's healthy is going to be traveling. So okay, they're probably going to be taking a lot of precaution. If it was me, I wouldn't be risking too much, especially if we're dominating the game, especially in the first half. If anything, I bring him on in the second half. Like if anything, start Afonso in the first half, bring Suarez in the second half. Like literally at the start of the second half, bring Messi at the start of the second half, and let them play and let them destroy New England, right? Um, but yeah, like Suarez didn't play on turf field in Brazil, so don't know if he's playing. We don't know if he's playing, but we know for sure that he's traveling with the team. He should be playing, because it's like, who is going to be playing? I mean, Campana is going to be there and Robert Taylor is going to be traveling, but we don't know if they're going to be starting. And I highly doubt that they'll put him in there, or they'll throw them into the first team after being injured, especially on a turf field. Honestly, we don't know. In my opinion, probably Leo Alfonso should be making an appearance, um, either off the bench or starting, and then bringing Suarez off the bench. Like at this point, like we can't really. I'd rather Suarez play at least a half than have him not play at all, because we don't really have any options in that role, right? In terms of everybody else, um, honestly, in terms of everybody else, like I don't know. I mean, everybody is gonna have to play. I mean, everybody's gonna have to play. Um, we don't really have like backups like that. Like we have like Sunderland and then we have Kremashi, but Kremashi's fresh out of an injury, and so we can't really force him to play a full 90. Um, so it is a tough situation. I mean, it's a tough situation to be in. I really don't want to play Borland, man. I know people want like Borland or like because he's young or whatever. Honestly, I don't want to say hate Borland, but he definitely doesn't do the job for Inter Miami at this level yet. But no, it's definitely a concern. So I mean, if we don't get a win here, the reason being is going to be because of the turf, right? It's going to be because of the turf. At least that's what I'm gonna blame it on. I'm gonna blame it on the turf field if we don't get a result um tomorrow night. But I really hope we do. I really hope nobody gets injured tomorrow. I'm going to be praying. I really hope that we get the result. Maybe obviously 5-1 is probably a little too much, but I think 3-1 is a good result for Messi Lionel. So anyways, um it's I really really hope that nobody's going to be get injured. Hopefully that turf field can do us right. Hopefully we can get the win, and maybe we'll see some squad rotation happening tomorrow. So Bright has been good. I 100% agree that Bright has been good. Um off the bench and with very limited minutes. Him lasting an entire 90, don't think he'll do that. Like consistent. I don't think he'll consistently perform throughout the 90. I think if he comes off the bench for maybe the last 15 minutes, I think he'll do okay. Um, him starting and him, I didn't like when he started. Last time I think he had a start and then he ended up coming off at some point in the game. And I agreed with that decision. I liked him off the bench better. Um, but anyways, yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here because we're approaching an hour. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode and tuning in to another episode of the Heron's Haven podcast, the preview to Inter Miami's game ahead against the New England Revolution. Game day 11. It should be fun. That's going to be tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern time. Apple TV Plus. As always, I'm going to be doing the post game reaction as soon as the game's over, or maybe just maybe an hour or half an hour after the game, just to kind of set everything up and kind of prep everything on that. So I'm gonna see you guys then. Just make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell, or so you are notified when I do go live. I feel like sometimes people always tell me that they don't get the notification, so just make sure that when you click the notification bell that you switch the icon to all, and then the bell should be like appear in all white. So that's the answer to that, because honestly, that happens to me when I subscribe to people as well. It like it says alerts on, but then like you have to switch it from the bell to all. So yeah, thank you so guys. So thank you guys again. I will see you guys in the next. I will see you guys tomorrow night. Vamos Inter.